Alright, welcome back to another video. This week I'm going to try and make the biggest painting that I've made so far. So to do that, I've had to build a new painting setup. This is kind of like a setup that I've been wanting to build for like the last 3 months, but haven't really had the funds to do it. So I picked up 3 pine boards and have just got little metal brackets, fixing them on the back. I originally kind of wanted to go bigger and get wood that would go all the way to the roof, so I could kind of make the pieces a little bit larger. But I got a small cast that didn't have a heap of room in there to actually get the wood in there. But yeah, still a lot bigger than my normal paintings, which are like these ones here. I also picked up a 10-meter roll of canvas. So literally got unlimited canvas now for the next like month. So with this painting I'm going to do this week, the goal of that is to include this in the collection of like the series that I'm painting at the moment. So with that series, kind of like a big goal that I've had for the last couple of months, is to make kind of 4 big statement pieces. Just so when people walk into the exhibition that I want to do, that feels like a bit of a world going on in there, and they can kind of be like more consumed by my art, rather than just having kind of small little pieces all around the place. I've got 3 big ones already planned out that I want to do, and now that I have the canvas and I'm not really like limited by trying to have the funds every week to buy a new canvas, hopefully over the next few weeks we can smash out a heap of painting videos. Now I'm super keen to get into this one. I've already cut the canvas and kind of marked out the actual like canvas I'm going to be painting on it. I'm going to get that clipped up and kind of just rip straight into this. Also the other day I picked up some really cool vintage magazines. I think some of them are from 1959, which is super old, and like the imagery that I'm going to use from those magazines for this like just goes so well with like the overall kind of narrative of this piece. So yeah, when I get into doing that, I'll show you guys what those look like. Now that it's hung up, it definitely looks way bigger than like I thought it was going to be. Because I've never kind of done one this big, I don't really know how long this is going to take. So if this video is out a little bit late, this is why. I'll pop up the painting that I'm going to do for this, so you guys can kind of see like the mock-up that I've made. Generally my mock-ups kind of change a lot as I paint. So yeah, we'll see if it actually ends up turning out like this. I'm going to slap on some base paint now, and yeah, see how much of this I can get through. Share the same idea, but I'm not going to give in. Very quickly realizing that to do this base painting is going to take so much paint, just because I like to, it's kind of like where I add in all my texture to my paintings. But luckily a friend of mine who I've mentioned in my videos before, his name's Joe, he's also an artist and used to do a lot of painting for like film and movie sets, and he finished a job a couple of months ago and they gave him like all the leftover supplies, which he then passed on to me because he's a legend. So luckily I have a stack of paints. Like the back of my car is just full of like spray cans and so much shit from that film set. So just gonna kind of throw whatever colors at it at the moment, and just to try to get some texture and some actual layers underneath the main design I do. Everything is taking twice as long. Run down this land where the ocean ends. It's the tallest sound, the damn smallest crowd, but their hearts break loud. Far from ever feeling. Base painting is almost done. I need to start kind of like Mod Podging in the images that I've chosen for this. So I went to like my local kind of antique collector store the other day and picked up new imagery to put in it. It's actually kind of crazy. Like the store that I go to just has like so much crazy old like antique newspapers and just like old magazines and things like that. So much of it, I swear, just most people don't even look at or like ever like want to touch sort of thing. And I think the guys have trouble like kind of getting rid of the stuff anyway. Because not gonna lie, sometimes I feel a little bit bad like buying the stuff and then tearing it up and putting it into my like paintings, because in some ways it's like kind of history. Like this one that I picked up here, so this is kind of like one of the images that I'm going to use. But yeah, it like looks so sick and like so weathered. It almost has like kind of like a canvas look to it, just because it's kind of so old. But this one's 1959. It's pretty crazy how old these things are, which is why I feel bad sometimes. But I don't know, I kind of see it in a way. Eventually these will probably get like thrown out at some point, or most people aren't really going to bother to look at them. Whereas if I kind of tear them up and put them in my paintings, it in a way kind of gives them a bit of new life. But yeah, there's literally just endless amounts of these at the store, which is like super sick, and the guys there are so nice. I also picked up this one here It's like an actual like painting kind of magazine, and it just has like a stack of different flowers and different kind of like painted bouquets. I'm not going to use any of this one in this painting. I'm probably going to save that for the other like bigger ones that I do. I'm going to pretty much like get into kind of tearing all of this stuff up now, like all the imagery that I want in it. There's this one here, this image in it, which is like so sick. It's kind of like these two people and the paper's like completely worn away down through the center and like kind of rubbed off between them, which gives it like a cool little split. A lot of like this kind of stuff where you got like the ink bleeding out and all that, like if I was to buy new magazines and like try to get that sort of effect, just wouldn't sort of turn out the same. You can only really get like cool like natural worn looking effects from actual old shit. So yeah, that was a pretty cool little find with that one. But yeah, I'm not like 100% sure. Normally I have a pretty good idea on like where to put the imagery. I don't know, this one I'm kind of like a little bit lost on like positions where to put it. So hopefully I put them in a good spot. I mean, if not, I can always find some new imagery and replace them with. Also, got myself a little wine, getting me through Saturday night. Yeah, hopefully I can make a pretty solid dent and get like the whole main background done tonight. That'd be cool. And then I can kind of start focusing on like the actual main imagery. Somebody else has already cut this. This is actually a really cool effect, doing like a double kind of layer. That's a happy little find for painting in the future. Back doing another late night painting session. It is like 10 o'clock already, so probably gonna be a real late one tonight. Pretty much got so much on this week. I'm doing tattooing maybe 2 or 3 nights this week, or afternoons after work. So I don't have a whole lot of time to paint this week, so kind of trying to like push in as much painting as I can. This morning before I went to work, I kind of added in these kind of clouds up here. Like a couple little clouds all around the place. And then kind of just sketched on like my main sort of image that I'm going to be putting on here. Also, I forgot to mention to you guys, a lot of the reason why I haven't posted recently, or why this like kind of video took a while to get to you guys, is one, saving up for like all of this stuff. But also like a week ago on Monday night, my house came like pretty close to burning down, which was a bit of a new experience. Underneath me, there's like a shop, and then there's another apartment here. And then directly down there's like a pizza shop. And at 3 in the morning, pretty much I woke up to this neighbor's here's like fire alarms going off, and I could like hear her kind of like running around, and then there was like a big bang. So yeah, I kind of woke up like kind of going like, what is going on? Kind of like rushed out here, could like start to smell smoke, popped my head out the window, and she was standing outside the front of her apartment with like one of her cats in like a little cat cage. Pretty much her whole place was like 50% like vision, like full of smoke, like real dark black smoke, which is kind of gnarly. Wasn't really expecting that. And yeah, she was kind of just freaking out about her cat, so I ran back into here, grabbed like a t-shirt and made a little bandana. Meanwhile, like I'm literally just in a pair of jeans, running back into her apartment, and then like on the other side of this wall, so like the fire must have like broken out downstairs and gone up through this wall, and her side of the wall was like full like black charred kind of up to here. So once I ran in and saw that, I was kind of like, oh shit, this is like a proper kind of like house fire going on. And then yeah, just found her cat under the fucking bed, yoinked the thing out of there. And then I ran downstairs to have a look inside the pizza shop to see what was going on. And when I got down there, it was like kind of flames about like this high and like 2 or 3 meters kind of squared. I pretty much just like boosted back up here, and I was kind of like if the fire department doesn't get here like fast, like there's pretty solid chance that like all this was gonna burn up. So started just like grabbing my camera gear, fucking anything valuable, stuffing it in bags, and was just like doing runs in and out. But yeah, got super lucky because the fire department got here probably like in like 5 minutes, which is like crazy fast. And the last trip that I did into my apartment, like when they arrived, it was probably like 50% vision. It's kind of like the paintings that you have here. I have another one over here, and when I walked in the door, I could like hardly see that painting. So pretty wild like how fast like, I mean like a place can like go up in flames, I guess. We're kind of like above the pizza shops, and it's just like wooden slat flooring, so just all the smoke was just like coming through all the carpet and everything like that. But luckily it got put out. I'll put up a couple photos of like what it looked like afterwards. Fortunately, like the dudes that own the pizza shop are like legends, and they are lucky that they have another one. But yeah, definitely seemed like quite the write-off. Like in the day, everyone was pretty safe and fucking turned out all good. So it's a nice little reminder for you guys to check your smoke alarms to make sure they're working, because turns out they're pretty important. So made like a bit of progress with it. Still got to build up so much of like color blocking still. Definitely looking like all over the place and pretty cooked at the moment. Like before I started doing this, I loved the background and I thought it looked so sick. And now it just looks like, I feel like it's in that in-between stage where like, I don't know, you can kind of like start to work out on your own paintings. I think once I kind of do like all like the black outlining as well, it'll definitely like separate a lot of the stuff at the moment. Yeah, if not, I'll just keep reworking it until we get to somewhere that looks all good. I'm not gonna lie, it was a fucking very rough wake up this morning, but literally a nice as day. Pretty pumping surf this morning, and it was pretty pumping surf yesterday, which I missed. And today I'm lucky enough to be on the old trusty mower down here. Big day of mowing lawns. The tattoos I was meant to do this afternoon, they got postponed to next week, so might be able to do some painting this afternoon, but we'll see. Alright, that's work done for the day, and got a little bit of sunlight left, so I'm gonna try boost home and see if I can get a little wave in. I just checked like the surf report and all the cams, and it's definitely looking smaller, but it's a pretty nice afternoon, so hopefully I can get a little wave in if it's not too bad traffic in home. Good morning, you guys. It's super early right now, and currently at the train station, about to get on a little side quest heading up to Airlie Beach. So a friend of mine I was doing some filming for, like in my last vlog, the show that she owns, it's like a burlesque kind of circus show thing, is up in Airlie Beach, and they've pretty much paid for my flights, accommodation, everything like that to go up for the long weekend and yeah, go make some content for them. So yeah, kind of random little like side quest for this week, but also like really psyched because Airlie Beach is like a super tropical and just a real nice little town. It's like 12 hours north of where I live, and it's kind of like known to be like a party kind of tourist town, so could be a couple nights out on the piss, which should be pretty fun. Gonna get on this fucking train right now and start this journey up there. Not gonna lie, I had like 3 hours sleep last night and feeling absolutely cooked right now. Also super hyped. Doing filming tonight, so I'm kind of just chilling at the moment, going for a little stroll like around the town and kind of seeing what's going on whilst kind of like all the performers and stuff get ready. And I'm not gonna lie, the town is absolutely cranking. I think it's like a yacht week here at the moment, but yeah, probably not gonna do like a crazy amount of talking whilst I'm down here because I'm like with people that I don't really know and I get way too embarrassed doing that shit. I realize there's literally like pubs everywhere here, just cooked. I don't start filming until like an hour, so may as well have a little warm up. And I'll chuck a couple like little clips in of like the show and things like that, but I won't put a whole lot of.
Tell you what, the silence here is perfect.
Alright, so I made it back to my little studio. Pretty much had a massive day today, traveling just back from Airlie, had kind of my flight and then had to get a train and also a bus back to my place, which kind of all up was about like 5 hours of traveling today. But yes, pretty stoked to be back and get into doing some painting and getting into finishing this thing off. That trip to Airlie Beach was like super nice, super relaxing, pretty fun as well, kind of like seeing into, I don't know, one thing with like video work is kind of always end up in like the most random like job situations, or like sometimes if you're taking on just kind of random work here and there, but it like gives you like a cool kind of like insight into other people's kind of worlds or like their kind of like communities and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely pretty cool to kind of see all that kind of like show entertainment world. And obviously a massive shout out to like that whole crew, if any of them were watching this. Everybody was pretty much like super welcoming for me to be there. But yeah, very much so keen to like keep getting on with this painting. Definitely kind of like in the mood where I'm like, shit, where do I even like kind of start with this thing again? Just because it's been a couple of days since I've painted. So pretty much I sort of can continue on with like a bit more blocking. It's almost like pretty much there. But yeah, definitely getting really keen to start doing all the blacks, so it always like actually kind of starts popping and you can actually kind of see the main image come out a bit more. So yeah, I'm gonna chuck some tunes on and get into doing this.
We're more serious now. Things have
So kind of done as much as I need to do right now, and just gonna start kind of putting in all the blacks. I generally do most of my blacks in like a black oil paint, and then kind of got like oil pastels, black markers, and yeah, it's kind of any different kind of mediums I have. And yeah, kind of just gonna play around with it. Got all the blacks done finally. But yeah, pretty stoked with the way it's looking at the moment. I really don't have like a whole heap more that I need to do on this. I've got like the blessed kind of text to do down the bottom, which before I went to Airlie Beach I picked up kind of some spray cans to do that. Pretty much across the road there's like an antique kind of toyish kind of store. I don't really know what it is. But they sold spray cans there a little while ago and they didn't have a whole heap. But yeah, now that he's like stocked up with like heaps of spray cans, which is pretty cool because it's actually can be kind of hard around where I live to actually get like good quality spray cans. So I picked up this nice like kind of pink, just got a white to do underneath it, just so it kind of matches up here. But they had like the kind of green that I do like all my branding off. They had a really cool one of those. And just, yeah, really nice colours in general, so definitely gonna go cop a few more of those at some point. Spray painting in general, I'm just like so bad at. I've been planning for a long time to go do like a big kind of mural piece at like an abandoned building that I know, just to kind of get better at it because it's kind of like an art in its own. Yeah, so I'm gonna honestly just crack straight into doing all these kind of final little details. Kind of really hoping to get this one done tonight, so see how we go. crazy. Like it's so much nicer doing spray painting with like nice spray paint. Like this color looks so like strong and just like, I don't know, so much easier to get it like thinner. So maybe these just have like better cap sizes, or I don't really know. But yeah, I've got a few more little other bits to put around the place, as well as like that little extra piece I need to paste on. So get doing that, and then can peel off this green tape and see what the final painting's looking like. Alright, there we go, finally finished with this piece. Not gonna lie, that it took so much longer than I expected. So yeah, if you guys made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you guys watching. But I've got like a whole heap more painting plans to do. A couple more big ones like this. Pretty much throughout this video it's been happening. I've had a lot more other ideas for a couple other ones, and also got some cool opportunities. So I'll try pick up the pace of getting these videos out, and just overall really appreciate you guys watching. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.